Well. Here we are, folks. This live stream, I'm going to take things a little different, and I'm going to try my best to be focused and be coherent and be very specific and very pointed with my conversation, with my dialogue. If you are here, I appreciate you for watching. If you came to see some beats, we're going to get into that. If you came to just chat with your boy for a quick second, we're going to get into that too. I am glad to be here, glad to be alive, glad to be back in the garage studio. I have a couple things on my mind that I got to get off. I got a couple things on my chest that I need to express. They are pretty scattered. So like I said, I'm going to try my best to be as pointed as I possibly can be. Now, if you're here, you might just be here because you've watched one of my live streams before and, I was going live. So you decided to come check it out. And for that, I appreciate you. Or you might be here because you saw the title of this video, and that's cool too. I do want to have a moment of honesty because I feel like if I don't talk about this, it's going to continue to eat at me. It's going to continue to eat at me. So I need to have this conversation. So first of all, it's really special and it's really encouraging when you got people that support you and that are behind you and the things that you do. And to an extent, they might even be the kind of people that think that you can do no wrong and feel that you have done no wrong, or they feel whatever you do is great. There's certain people in your life that are just like that. They're going to support you, and whatever you do, they're going to say that it's dope. They're going to say that you did a great job. And, they might be, telling the truth in regards of saying that's how they honestly feel, or they might just be, saying that to guard your feelings. And either way, I appreciate, those people in my life. So the title of this video is I Messed Up, and it's a real honest thing. And on the thumbnail, it says never again. Never again will I mess up in the way that I messed up. Never again am I going to let myself, my supporters, contributors, never again am I going to let my encouragers down by what I did. So I messed up in the simplest form to not make this clickbaity and to not make this drawn out and to not make this a bunch of suspense. I messed up because I was not prepared. I got an opportunity that I think, if I'm being honest, I feel like I took for granted. Looking back at it, thinking back at it, I think took that for granted. Could have been something way more and way better than what it was. I was excited. I was, ready to go, but I didn't really do what I needed to do. I messed up, man. I was not prepared for this opportunity, and when it came my way, I didn't perform at the highest that I should have. I made a joke about it later on, relenting how I felt about it, but honestly, it really did feel that way. So I'm gonna go back as I tell this story. I'm gonna just go back to the very beginning. So I've been on this YouTube platform for, a couple years now, making beats, making videos, tutorials, and just trying to get my foot in the door. I am extremely excited about YouTube. YouTube is the thing that Steve Harvey talks about, doing the thing that you can't go to sleep. You thinking about it, you trying to get better at it. That's my thing. YouTube is that thing for me. But I was very encouraged by, one individual in the music scene as well as in the YouTube scene. And that individual is Curtis King. I remember watching Curtis King do just tons tons of different kinds of videos, just different types of videos, all kinds of videos. But he started to do these motivational type videos where it's like, you know, talking to the producer, talking to the music, you know, the person that was trying to get into the music industry or just trying to get your music made. And I really like started seeing his channel grow. I in some ways skyrocketed, you know, and he's always seemed to be a person to me that had a plan, and he had a plan for a plan and a plan for that plan. And so as I was watching his YouTube, you know, take off, I just kind of just followed and just continued to just be encouraged by the content that he was making. And as I, you know, continue my own YouTube journey, I started getting into a place where people started recognizing me. People started seeing my name. I got opportunities from Reasonstudios themselves. I got opportunities from just different producers, different artists and managers, and all of these different things was happening. And again, I just wanted just to see the YouTube, you know what I'm saying, be more than what it was. So I'm just working. And started speaking with Curtis King. And one day, you know, fast forward just a little bit, one day he hits me up, and yeah, he just asked me if I would want to do the Happiness of Pursuit beat showcase. And honestly, I was like at this point, I had started taking a mentality that was like, say no to nothing that can be beneficial to you. Like, if there is any way that this could, you know, be beneficial to you, like, you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, encouraged and willing to do the things, do the work in order so that, you know, you can continue to grow in the ways that you want to grow. I had no clue what it was, honestly. To tell you, I mean, all of this is like really interesting because the day of the event, my wife went on Yelp. And because she went on Yelp to check out previous years, we had a little bit more information about the event than we would have. So he asked me that. It was plenty of time. I said yes. I said yes immediately. Absolutely. I want to be, beat showcase. Thinking like, what could that be? What could that look like? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, let's do it. And from that moment on, I had like zero contact. I laugh about it now, but like for real, never again, y'all. For real, like I messed up. Like I'm not gonna be this way ever again. This is like a life learning lesson for me, because it really just didn't make sense. So I'm gonna tell you, he asked me to be on the B showcase. I said yes. I started telling people. Matter of fact, the crazy thing was they had a whole flyer. They had a whole flyer for the festival, and it had my name on it. And I was like, yo, what is this? But I still never talked to him. And I started sending it to people, sharing it to people like, oh, look. And of course, the amazing thing is sometimes you share some things with people that you have no business sharing with them. Like you share something with somebody and they have no clue how big or impactful or important it is. You know, it's just like, oh, okay. But just, you know, like have a moment where it's like a moment of clarity. It's like your name is on this flyer for this event. That's kind of interesting. Never really had that happen before. Never really experienced that, especially to this, you know, this gravity, to this extent. So you would think that because of that, like that would spark something different in me as well, right? You would think that that would maybe propel me or motivate me or encourage me to do something different. But it didn't. I just kind of bided my time. I just kind of went along and I just kind of said, it'll work itself out. I call myself sometimes a procrastinator, and some people let me know that I was reading this article or watching this TikTok. I don't know, one of the two, whichever one sounds most believable. I don't know. But I heard someone say that some people thrive the most. Some procrastinators thrive the most when it's like the time is upon you, and it's like, that's when they thrive the most. And that sounds like something that's good, but it's not. It's really not. If you have opportunity to do something and you have time to prepare for it, that's exactly what you need to do. But this is not me to tell you. This is for me to express myself. I should have prepared a lot more. I should have asked questions. I should have had conversations. I should have put together, the tracks that I wanted to play. I should have mixed some beats. I should have maybe produced something special. I could have did so many different things that I could have did that I didn't do and was not prepared for. So I messed up. And like I said earlier, there might be some people that don't look at it that way. Like, they are your supporters. They are, encouraging you. And like, it was dope. It was great. It was this, it was that. And I just got to look at myself and I just got to say, you could do better, And one thing I want to say about it is that it's not a matter of like a comparison. I mean, the names and the people that showed up to this beat showcase are doing some amazing things and have amazing sounds. So it wasn't about, whether or not my beats sounded better or sounded worse, or like where it came in line with other people's performances. For me, it was just, wow, listening to your set, I can tell you prepared for this. Listening to your set, this is not the first time you've been in this position. This is not the first time you've been here, like on the stage, like about to play this music. This is not the first time that you've been in a crunch mode with this much time, or like, it's not even the first time that you felt the heat of the light on you, sweating you out. There was some practice there. There was some preparation there. There was moments of intentful, specific things that was planned. It was like, hey, I'm gonna play this track and then play this track and end with this track. You could just see it. And that's the part that I'm really thinking about. When I got the call to do that, I had an opportunity to really prepare myself, and I didn't take that opportunity, man. And so that was a lesson learned. What I did do was try to do the procrastinator thing and say at the last minute, I'm going to pull it together. We'll figure it out. Here's the amazing, shocking part. I did tell many of my friends and family members and people. I even got tickets for them to come out. But without any kind of knowledge about, what was happening or what I was doing, some of them, I guess it was just kind of like, well, you don't know what you're doing, why should I come, kind of thing. But I did have, friends and family, ask me like, hey, well, what are you doing? And I would just kind of tell them something. I'll go play some music. I'll play some beats. And every time that somebody asks me, my wife, my mom, my father-in-law, every time somebody asks me, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to be doing? That was an opportunity for me to go in the lab, come in here, sit down, say, okay, you got 20 minutes, put together a set, put together some tracks, make some transitions, blend some stuff. How are you going to play it? What are you going to do? Are you going to bring your guitar? Are you going to bring a piano? Like, what are you going to do to, make the best of this showcase? What's it going to be like? At the end of the day, it's this feeling of, did you put your best foot forward? And I can't say that I put my best foot forward. I can't even say that I had like the audacity or the cockiness to say like, well, I know my beats are good, so all I got to do is show up and give me the aux chord and that's going to be it. It's not even that. It's nowhere near that. Oh, I just knew that I was the stuff and, that was going to be enough. nowhere near that either. Just really just missed the opportunity to make that the best of the opportunity. It was really exciting. I am forever grateful still, I was then and is now. And, for Curtis King giving me that opportunity to do the beat showcase, that was super big. I mean, seemingly at the time really felt like, why is he asking me almost? And just, feels like it was ahead of its time. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the mistakes that I made, but I also learned a lot just from the experience. So I'm not going to just say it was all bad. There was some good there, because I did learn from the mistake of not being better prepared. And I did learn from the experience of, oh, wow, you've never really heard your music in an environment like this, where people are vibing to it like this, where you got 4 or 5 groups that's like rapping along to your beat as you're playing beats. Like, you've never like heard the beat, like you made this beat and you got these monitors here in the studio, but you've never heard them on a stage. You've never heard the tracks come through on a stage and like feel what it would feel like for like this subwoofer to like, really like play these. When you hear this kick and you hear this bass and you hear, all of the sounds coming through, like you've never experienced that. And so like, I could tell you, like, experiencing it, I was like, hey, yo, I want to do this tomorrow. Like, I want to do this next week. Like, that was awesome. That was a really good feeling. And it just even more so, developed in me and kept going inside of me to say, why didn't you do better? Why didn't you prepare or plan just a little bit more? Like, I feel like this could have been something really cool if you had planned it a little bit more. So I'll give you some examples of what I mean. You see, I got this nice little camera right here, and outside of my music production and what I do for YouTube, like I do video production, I do photography. So I have this camera here and I have really cool lens. I think this lens is pretty cool. It's f1.2, nice blurry background. The camera that I got all kind of gear and stuff for it. I got a gimbal, I got tripods, I got all this stuff that I got for it. And the festival, like when you walk into the festival, it's like thousands of people that's doing the same exact thing. They got every cameraman is there with their camera, with their lens, with their gimbals, with their microphones. They're there to capture the event, right? They're there, they got it. Some people have hired videographers to follow them and get the footage of them at the concert, at the festival. It's a lot going on. And so one way that I was not prepared is I didn't bring this camera. I didn't bring this. Why wasn't it there? Why did I say, oh, I'll just take my phone and I'll just get clips from my phone? We'll just get clips from my phone. But why, when you're a videographer and you do video for a living and you know the difference between taking this camera and taking your phone? Why? Why not have that prepared and ready to go and like know exactly how it was going to be so you could capture it? I wanted to capture it so that I could give it back to you guys, so that I could like have it like a full video where I'm sharing the experience, a vlog even, where it's like, oh, getting ready to go there and do this show. It would seem as though building up this YouTube, building up the music production, building up the brand essentially to get to this point where you have a platform, where you have a stage that's larger than you are, for sure. You definitely should get that captured, right? You should at the very least have a GoPro and get like an action film captured or something like that. And so wasn't able to capture that because didn't prepare, didn't plan. When it came down to the actual track list and it came down to the actual music, I essentially put all my music on SD card. I put all my music on an SD card. Let me see if I can. Well, I don't have one right here, but I put all my music on an SD card and I put it in my car as we were driving up. about an hour. My wife and I, as we were driving up, I put that card into my car. We have a little adapter or whatever, and we were just playing the beats. We're just like, oh, should we play this one? Yes or no? It's kind of like something like that. Should we play this beat, play that beat? I had some that I knew I wanted to play. Once I got over the nervousness and the unpreparedness, it was like, well, I do know that at the very least I'm going to be playing beats, so let's play this one. In my head, I was like, oh, maybe we're going to do maybe I'll make beats on the spot. I'll tell you, it's just, maybe we'll do that. So no lie, no joke. No, I got to get it so that you could, cause you'll really get it when I show it. Like, I use it to make beats, but you don't really ever see it, So I have to get it so you can see the madness that I was going through. Okay, just pause 1 second. I think it's just as tall as I am. Well, it's a little shorter. I brought my 88 key M Audio keyboard to this event in my back, and I put it in the back of my car, right? I had it on the back seat, and I was like, yeah, just bring it, and I got my keyboard stand, and I was like, yeah, in my mind, they say, oh, you got 5 minutes to prepare for your showcase. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bring this and I'm gonna play the chords to the beat before the beat comes on. But it's like, sir, this thing is huge. Do you see this? Not prepared. A lot of people used just their laptop. I'm just put it on the floor. A lot of people use just their laptop, and they just had their laptop, or they would have Serato on their laptop, and so they would play the beats from a Serato, playing, and that way at least you can queue up the track. Other people had a turntable, a Traction, I can't think of the brand, but just essentially a little turntable. So they had something that they could use to play, to play their beats and everything like that. I really want to get some, some stuff that I want to read so I can read this off. But they had, different things, right? Even I guess an MPC or a Ableton Push or a Machine, any of those things, nice compact, would be better than me pulling up with my 88 keyboard. I'm finna bring this through security. Hey, I got my keyboard in the car, and now thinking back and looking back, I'm glad I didn't get the keyboard from the car. That would have been kind of crazy. That would have been kind of wild to get the keyboard and set the keyboard up. That would have been kind of wild. That would have been kind of wild. But I want to share some stuff. I got my community tab up. I want to share some stuff with you guys. So, I had a lot of ideas and a lot of things that just did not, come together the way I wanted them to come together. And part of it was because not being planned, not planning and not preparing the way that I knew I should have. So track list was pretty much put together a few minutes before. I even remember having my laptop there, and I basically was figuring out what tracks to play right before it was time for me to go up, right? And what I ended up doing was I dumped all of the tracks from the SD card into a Reason file, right? So Reason is just loaded up with a ton of tracks, and I started soloing which track I would play and queuing it up like that. So it's safe to say, if I had planned it out I think Reason would have been okay to use. I could have used some of the effects in Reason. Could have did a lot of stuff, but I didn't do it. So the track list was not what it needed to be. The performance in terms of like how I could perform was not where it needed to be. The anticipation wasn't where it needed to be. My preparedness in terms of capturing the event was not where it needed to be. Could have invited some folks to, you know, be a part of the moment. So that was not where it needed to be. And I feel that. There were a lot of happy people. I was happy. There were a lot of excited people, felt like I did a great job. They liked the beats. I had people hit me up on Instagram, say that they liked the beats. I had people hit me up and say that, you know, they enjoyed the showcase, the beat showcase that we did for the Happiness of Pursuit. I had some people tell me that they enjoyed it, that they heard it online, you know, they heard it from Curtis King's live stream, or, you know, they were there in the room. They hit me up on Instagram and wanted to buy beats or just to work together, you know, doing music. There was people that, you know, that it was a positive thing. It's just me looking back on it and just saying, to be honest with myself and to be honest with you guys, because like I said, this has been kind of bothering me. So it was like, I have to kind of get it out. And this is the best way that I feel like I could get it out. I feel like you guys would understand why me not feeling like I was as prepared as I should be to do this show, why that's like a big deal. Like, you know, my mom is my mom, so she gonna love me either way. She gonna say, Chris, you did a good job. So she not really gonna get it when I tell her, like, you know, oh, the dog was about to crash. Like, she not gonna understand when I say I didn't prepare for this or whatever. She not gonna get it. But I think you guys would understand. You would get it. Or she won't understand when I say, oh, the beats wasn't mixed, so it kind of sounded like I was blowing out their speakers, but not in a good way. Like, not in like, oh man, these beats is hitting hard, you know. I am the type of person that will, I'm very critical. I will, you know, self-reflection is good, but self-degradation, I think that's how you say that word. It's not necessarily, but I am the type of person that will do that as well. So I know I'm not throwing a pity party. I don't want nobody to feel bad for me, and I'm not even saying I feel bad for myself. I'm really just sharing with you how I feel, because I had this really great opportunity that essentially I did not take full advantage of. So I feel like I could have did a lot better. And what I can say is, when it comes down to it, if I ever get the opportunity, if I ever get the chance, even like networking, right? Like networking would have even been another, you know, but I've always been terrible at that, to keep it real with you. But even the opportunity to like network with people and really talk to people, I didn't take advantage of that either. I was very nervous. I was very like timid. I was all of the ways that I told myself not to be is how it was. So I did want to share with you guys some stuff though. So here is, for example, I was saying earlier, here is the flyer. You can look right in here. You know, you see my name. Producer showcase presented by Curtis King, featuring Oh Gosh Leotis, Sky Hutch, Python P, Jamini, Chris Reed, Young Beans, Jay Midnight, Pretty Black. Let me see. I'm not sure how many of these continue to go on for the producer showcase. I think some of these might just be other artists, because it wasn't that many artists in the producer showcase. But I think it's just this line right here, because Young Beans was the first one. Young Beans went on, and then me. I think that his name is Gemini is how you actually pronounce it. Gemini, Python P, Sky Hutch, Oh Gosh Leotis, and then Curtis King went last. Super dope beat makers. Young Beans has some soulful tracks with some soul samples on them. Super dope. Gemini was like, I wouldn't want to get in a beat battle. With Gemini. I feel like Gemini had those tracks that were like, they were familiar. Like they had that quality of like, oh, I know that TV show, or like, oh, I know that, oh, whoa, he flipped it like that. Like he had those. And yeah, so he was, but you know, dope beats, you know what I'm saying? Python P, dope beats. Sky Hutch, dope beats. And I think both of those guys have placements in the industry and, you know, really dope in their music production, like aside from doing this beat showcase. Like, and Oh Gosh Leotis was like, when he got up to do his beats, I was like, yo, this feel like we had like a club in Vegas or something. I was like, man, this feel like we at Drea's right now. Like I was waiting on some steam to shoot off and some confetti to fall or something. Like it was kind of crazy. The beats was dope, but it was like the production of the show. So not just his production in music, but how he produced his show. You know, he had his microphone and he was doing like reverb and echo delays on his voice to really give it that DJ feel, you know. It was just really dope. It was really dope. So shout outs to them, man. Shout outs to them, because I could definitely tell the time and the effort that went into the beat showcase that they put together. And, you know, maybe this is too much breaking the fourth wall to say, maybe this is like breaking the fourth wall to say like all of what I did or didn't do for this show. And, you know, but like I said, I have to own it. I have to own up to it. So, this was my feelings like I guess hours after it. This was my feelings of going to this show. You were invited to a producer showcase with Curtis King. Look at that smile. Was really excited. Curtis is he's really funny. If you are not, I mean, if you're watching my channel, I assume you've seen Curtis King's channel before. If you're watching this live stream, I assume that you've seen his live streams before. So you know that Curtis King is hilarious. Like he has like a lot of jokes. He's like not camera shy. He's not microphone shy. Like dude is talented. My wife said, if he doesn't, you know, if he ever decides to retire from music production, he should definitely like go to Comedy Central or like do like a stand up. Like he was funny. Like I'm not being funny. I'm saying we really was laughing at the stuff he was saying at the producer showcase. And so, but super dope, right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever he said had me rolling at the time. And, look at that smile, you know what I'm saying? Really excited. And then here's the inner thoughts. So my inner thoughts: you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. I think my shoe is untied. My shoe indeed was untied. My shoe is untied. Unmixed beats about to blow these speakers. I'm pretty sure. Somebody told me that it was because the mixer had only had one of the speakers and they needed to put both speakers on to give us that stereo feeling. I was like, I don't think it helped. Did he say Mark Henry? Now this is after the fact, because after the fact I saw somebody post. I think it's funny, y'all. I didn't take offense to it or nothing, but I did see somebody post on Curtis King's page that I look like Mark Henry. He dude said I look like Mark Henry, and I was like, hey, shout outs to you, bro. Shout outs to you. I've heard a lot of people like say a lot of stuff, like a lot of comparisons. Somebody said Rod Wave one time. Somebody said, oh, you look like Rod Wave. And there was this other dude, and when I saw him, I was like, oh, I do kind of look like that dude. Like if I had shaved my beard, like, I do kind of look like him. But Mark Henry is crazy. Like, whoa, like Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry? Like, are you serious? But nonetheless, hungry, man, it's hot in here. It was so hot. I was sweating bullets. It was so hot. And I'm in a long sleeve shirt. I did look fly though, at least. I did like, you know what I'm saying, the shirt I was wearing. I felt like just to have more like moments of you know, honesty or whatever, you know, just getting into the inner thoughts or whatever. When I went to the Reason event and I met Ryan Harlan. I felt like I looked like somebody dad in there, like, and I didn't have my son yet. I felt like somebody dad. I felt like I was like, yo, like, I would have been better if I had just put a suit and tie on. Like the little shirt that I put on, I just looked like somebody uncle in there. Like, it was just crazy looking. Like, it's just like, man, I can't get the wardrobe together. But so I felt a little better. Had my chain, you know what I'm saying? Had my chain on. Felt like, you know, all right, we here to do this. I was a little starstruck by Curtis King and Oh Gosh Leotis. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I've met Curtis King before, and I want to talk to him to have that conversation too. Just about like in life, how, you know, the sun revolves and, you know, time passes on, and it's like you meet somebody for the first time somewhere, and then you meet them in another context, in another way. And that's essentially how we are. Like, YouTube is the second occurrence, or whatever. It's not the first occurrence, but yeah. And this is the last thought. My CPU is at 100%, and I've never seen that computer it really just was like acting like it was just done for. It was done for. It was not doing what it needed to do. It was struggling. It was struggling to keep up, you know what I'm saying? Struggling to keep up. But you know what I'm saying? Good people's there. So shout outs to Curtis King again for the opportunity. Really do appreciate that opportunity. And I've learned my lesson. That when it come down to it, you know, we have to be prepared, and we got to be ready to show up and show out every time, you know, like not just, you know, here or there, and not just when we think it's like, you know, I told myself to be more specific. You got to show up and show out to everything. You got to give it your all. You got to be prepared no matter who is in the room. No matter it's 5 people in the room, 50 people in the room, 500 in the room. You got to show up and show out and be prepared, because you don't know who's in the room. You don't know who's watching. You don't know what it's going to do for you, your career, your family, your life, your music, your whatever, your art. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whose Snapchat video or whose Instagram story that they record you while you're doing your thing is going to be the thing that gets you seen by the right people, by the right person, or even just the one person that's going to make a difference. You got to be prepared at all times. You can't show up, you know what I'm saying, half-stepping. Ain't no half-stepping. You got to be ready. You got to be prepared every single time. And so, was it dope? You know, was it cool? Like, I had fun. Once I got the hang of it. I was up there playing the beats. I got the hang of it. It was fun. I had some, even like tonight, right? Like, I had some video I wanted to share with you guys, but I'm waiting for it to load on my computer. I had fun. I was playing beats, you know what I'm saying? People was cracking jokes, like in terms of like what was happening up there, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get my vibe going and stuff like that, and it was all good. But man, just the thought of knowing that there was an opportunity for me to do better just makes me say never again. It just makes me say never again. I'm never gonna mess up like this. I'm never going to. And they say never, but this is one of those things. Like, you can prepare, and if you can prepare, then let's be prepared. So, lots of mistakes made, but lots of lessons learned. I messed up, but won't be doing that again. If I ever get blessed and get to have the opportunity, I'm going to make sure that I do my very best and that I put my foot forward with everything that I'm doing. That goes for this YouTube channel. That goes for performances. That goes for linking up with people to do music. Whatever the case is, it's just kind of like take the time to do the thing that you need to do. And that's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. So sorry if I upset somebody and y'all thought it was finna be something worse. I don't know. Maybe I thought, I don't know what y'all thought. Maybe I don't even want to say what I think, what y'all might have thought. I don't know. But shout outs to y'all for coming through to, hang out with your boy. Now, I had one other thought. On my mind that I want to get off before I do anything else. If there is somebody that's not doing what you're doing and they have critique for you, there's an issue there. There is something really wrong with that situation. And I don't think that it's you. If somebody has something to say about what you're doing, but they're not doing it, can't do it, won't ever do it, it's something wrong there. And so if someone has a critique and they have something that they want to say, I'm going to suggest that, you walk a mile in their shoes, as they say. Walk a mile in the shoes of the person that you criticize and that you critiquing. And this is non-related. This is actually, this is closer to what we do here on YouTube. But that's like Raging Oracle, what's good, man? Said that's called a hater. Unless it's sports. I mean, sports is like people are out there essentially like, watch this. If the basketball teams, they come together in the room, they come together in the gym and they play basketball. If they don't film it, if something happened, like if you don't watch it, I should say, if you don't watch it, they still get paid just for having the match between the two of them. So it's not really like entertainment that they're putting together for us to watch so much as it is, this is the game that they have to do. They're gonna do their game, and then we just get to watch it. So, if you have a critique or something about the game, I mean, go for it, but it's kind of like a mute point, right? It's like that thing that they say, what I'm saying? What is like Monday morning or, quarterback coaching, whatever. What you would have did, what you could have did, what you should have did. And it's just like, but you're not on the field, but you're not in the game, but you're not coaching, but you're not the quarterback. You're not doing the things, so it's just like, cool. You can say what you want to say, but that's a mute point. You see what I'm saying? But when you got people that's like, in your circle, they right there, with you, and they got comments about like what you do, you know what I'm saying? That's wake. That's some hater stuff. But I guess that's what you say. If you could do it, you probably would do it too. But since you can't do it, you just have this critique. So that's my little rant. Ben Bowman, what's good, man? Club owners and managers talk constantly. So if you try your best and you exude that, the word will be spread. Exactly, right? Promoters, it's kind of one of them things. The right guy to look at, the right guy to bring in. Who should we bring in for this next event? Who should we bring in? You get to calling people on the phone, word will quickly spread. If you were, if you did your job, if you shocked and amazed, then that will be the case. But if you just kind of left a few embers, we smiled our way through it, then I don't know, maybe not. Maybe if you're cute enough, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, maybe if your beer was lined up right, which is not. But yeah, man, that kind of bothered me. I'm gonna wait though. I'm gonna wait till some more development come out of that before I speak on it. I was shout outs if you guys heard, it's not shout outs, but hey, did you guys hear the new Drake album? Like, this kind of coincides with the thought. On the new Drake album, podcast I like to listen to, Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden had a lot of stuff to say about this new Drake album. And some people felt like some of the stuff he said was personal and he shouldn't have said it. But overall, what he was saying about the music, that was his personal opinion. And the thought that comes out of it is, should he have a right to speak on the topic? Like, should he be able to speak on the topic? And it's like what I said. It's like, if somebody is giving you critique, but they don't do the thing that they critiquing you about, you gotta kind of address that. You gotta adjust that. Now, Joe Budden has done the thing he's critiquing. He's critiquing music. He's critiquing lyricism. He's critiquing songwriting. Raging Oracle says Joe was trash in the 90s. Wow. I don't know if I'm gonna go that. I'm not gonna say that at all. I'm not gonna say Joe Budden was ever trash. You know, hey, if you don't like the music, you don't like the music. But I'm not gonna call him trash. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew who Joe was outside of New York till Housewives shows. What? I'm not sure. Oh, maybe you got the wrong person. Oh, I need to pull up this thing. Yeah, but he was trash. Hey, Ranger Oracle is going off. I've been through the process. He's in Portland, Oregon. It takes a while, and our clout. Anyway, he's going off. The point being, he's at least done it. He's made music. He sold albums. He sold singles. He's at least done it. He's done it. If he wants to have a critique about somebody's music, go for it. You know what I'm saying? He's been regarded as a lyricist. He's been regarded as somebody that is dope at rapping. You know what I'm saying? People like his music outside of the number one single, you know what I'm saying? Outside of the, you know, the what's it called? Outside of just outside of Pump It Up, people like his music, you know what I'm saying? People buy his album. So it's just kind of like, if you have a critique, if you want to say something about it, you can say something about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he really. So Al could tell me to, like, I don't have a poker face. I don't have a poker face at all. I don't have a poker face for it to be like I could read something and not react to it. I really don't. I don't have a poker face. So I'm not even bringing that up to talk about that. I'm bringing it up to say it's different when somebody who's doing the thing that you're doing. It's different when somebody who's doing the thing that you're doing has something to say, and somebody who's not doing the thing that you're doing has something to say. It's just totally different. And so even, I guess, that could be the critique now, because Joe is doing podcasting and not rapping. He's not making songs. He's not dropping albums. And he himself on his podcast has admitted multiple times it's hard to try to sell one of anything. Like, trying to get somebody to buy one of anything is extremely difficult. And so nevertheless, like, one good thing, one bad thing, one mediocre thing, just one thing, like trying to get them to buy one thing is extremely difficult. I'm gonna take the bait. I'm gonna take the bait from Raging Oracle. I just hate how he talking like he was the dude at any point. He never was. He wasn't on Silk the Shocker level. He was a local dude, not in front. He talking like he was on top. He never was. I guess it's because I think about it like this, Raging Oracle. Think about it like this. The David that goes after Goliath, he gets some props. He gets props. Because there was a lot of people that did not even, who would not dare to try to fight Goliath. So the David, the one that, you know, the one that is underestimated, the one that shouldn't have a dog in the fight, when that person has enough courage and confidence to say, I'm gonna throw bars at Drake, I'm gonna throw bars at Jay-Z, I'm throwing bars at all these dudes, I'm gonna throw bars at Game, I'm gonna throw bars, like, really think about it. Really think about who he surrounded himself with. Like, we talking about Slaughterhouse. We talking about some of the dopest rappers, some of the dopest lyricists out. Like, we're talking about who you can find yourself in company with, who you find yourself battling, who you find yourself dissing. Like, we're not saying, oh, you know, he has something to say to like the little dogs. Like, we're not, oh, you know, the people that's just trying to make dance music like Soulja Boy. Like, you don't get no props for dissing Soulja Boy. But when you go at Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? The top best rapper, like top three, not one, not two or three. Like, when you go at that person, and you know what I'm saying, you got bars for them, like, I think that counts for something. Even if your critics and your people say, well, you know, the only song you really got is Pump It Up, and you know, your shows don't sell out, your albums don't sell, and you know, if all of those are the critiques, is cool, but it's like, boom, I'm willing to put bars up. Are y'all gonna rap back to me or not? Like, are y'all gonna rap back, or y'all just gonna, oh, y'all not gonna say nothing? Oh, okay, cool. So I think that's the difference. All right, I think that's the difference. He got like one song like 2000. If it wasn't for NBA 2K, he'd be a nobody. I don't think he would be a nobody, Raging Oracle. I think that and NBA 2K is not even, listen, it's so interesting because, like, somebody saying something about Pump It Up in a negative regard, when there are some artists and rappers that would love to have their music featured as much as his music is featured. One hit wonder or not, that's the word I was looking for. One hit wonder or not, there are a lot of people that would love to have their music featured on not just NBA 2K, but Def Jam Vendetta, all kind of games. Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, plays on pretty much every sport from baseball to basketball to football to NHL hockey, pretty much any sport where there's a fast break moment, they're gonna play Pump It Up. Like, they just might play just the instrumental, but that's a play. That's a mechanical play that's happening. So it's just kind of like, how can you be like, you know, how can you say that, like, oh, like, that's a bad thing? Like, oh, you have that one song that's played everywhere. Like, it's like, come on, like, what's that song? Old Town Road by Lil Nas X had got tons of play. It got tons of play when it first came out, and like the next year, right? But we talking about a decade worth of play. We're not talking about a few years of it being hot, scorching hot. We're talking about scorching hot for a long time and then continuing to play throughout. It's come on, man. Shoot, I got here late talking about Joe Budden. We are talking about Joe Budden right now. I'm finna change the title of this live stream too, because hey yo. Hey. It's some Joe Budden haters up in here, man. Come on, I can't believe Ranger Oracle. I can't believe, I did not know you had this much smoke for Joe Budden, okay? I didn't know that you had this much smoke, okay? That one hit isn't a one hit, playing everywhere now. Thank you, exactly. It's not a one hit. Hold on, let me get this up, cause we playing games. This one right here. Okay, boom. So y'all can see the chat. This over here, this right here. Come on, y'all. Listen to me. Listen. I love Joe, man. He's mad entertaining, and glad to see he's being talking about Gotta Rep Jersey. Yeah, people didn't know about him. Kids knew because the song hit on NBA 2K. one thing we're not going to do is like just make up facts. We just can't make up facts, Raging Oracle. We just can't do that. It's not the case that people didn't know him. People knew him. People knew him because, for one, people knew him because of all of the beefs and all of the drama that he was getting into. Like, he was battling all kinds of rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is before like him getting on camera and doing YouTube and all that type of stuff. So like, he's one of them people that it just don't get the credit. Just don't get the credit that he deserves. Backing away from this, let me say this. You got some people that when they have an opinion, they will shadow it. Like, you got some people who will not tell you their real opinion about something. You got some people that is like, they won't tell you exactly what they feel about it. They will hide their hands. They will throw rocks. They will just talk about some stuff on the sly. They will kind of say what they think, but not really say it. Joe is just not one of them people. He's one of the people that will tell you straight up just how he feel about something. And so it just is so interesting that we don't have people that can appreciate just that. Can we just appreciate that? Can we appreciate that on his platform, he gives it up? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's something to be talked about, you know what I'm saying? He's not hiding from it. He'll talk about it. He'll share what it is. And so that's the main thing. It's not about his rap career. It's about, okay, are y'all going to tell the truth or not? Now, I will see on the internet, on YouTube, on Instagram, it's just been a lot of Drake slander. It's been a whole lot of Drake slander. Shout outs, by the way, to that person that subscribed. I did see somebody had subscribed earlier. Appreciate you for subscribing. It's been a lot of people that do not like that album, and they are saying it. I never thought that I would see that, where it was just like so many people just saying the same thing. And I think that clears it up. Let me see what he's saying. I just don't like that crap. He almost be hating on dudes half the time. He do what he do, but he be talking crazy. Like, yeah, you know, COE, as they say, COE. Do you actually like listen to Joe Budden? Like, do you listen to his podcast? Because I'm on the Patreon, I'm listening Wednesdays, Saturdays. Like, that is my guilty pleasure, as they say. Like listening to that podcast is the thing that really, you know, that really helps me. You know what I'm saying? That helps me get through. You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it feels real, it feels raw, and I'll get into one other thing that I really like about it too, after I say shout outs to the McEastlands. What's good, bro, man? Earlier we were just talking about the beat showcase. I'm still waiting for my videos to come through, because when the videos come through, I am going to share those videos, but they still on my phone. They not coming through. So, all right, whatever. His podcast is important. For anybody that actually listens to podcasts, you will really appreciate Joe Budden and his podcast for this reason. And this is a reason that gets overlooked. And it's kind of just like people just don't big this up enough to me, because I listen to a lot of podcasts. And one thing that I can say that is different is when I go to listen to Joe Budden's podcast, I can listen to that most of the time 3-hour podcast. From minute 1 to hour 3, there is not one advertisement. There is not one thing that's coming in between that listening experience. There is nothing that is going to dilute the experience for me when I'm listening to that. There are other podcasts that I really enjoy listening to, but if the podcast is, say the podcast is 30 minutes, a third of that podcast is advertisements and commercials. Now they trying to get their money up. They trying to monetize this podcast, which essentially is just whoever is on there talking, they're talking about whatever they're talking about. They're sharing the information that they have, or they're just trying to be entertaining. And that is what their podcast is. And they're trying to monetize that thing that essentially after your startup costs and whatever it costs for you to get your microphone and your cameras and whatever, they're trying to monetize that situation. And so that's cool, and that's cool for them. But something has to be said to the person that says, I'm gonna monetize this. I'm gonna find a way to you know what I'm saying, make an income from this, but I'm not gonna do it at the expense of the people that want to listen to it. Something has to be said to that. Something has to be said to the fact that there has been no advertisements. And the one time that there was an advertisement way back, and I'll name this podcast Later Days, he did not read it right. He didn't care about it. He was like, get this out of here, because just the flow of it. Oh, we having this conversation. The conversation is dope. And then it's like, okay, we got to stop to read this ad. It's like, this is trash. Like, I'll never want to do this ever again. And he has not done it since that day. And so something has to be said to that. Now, that's just my thoughts about that. All right. Now let's keep talking, Raging Oracle, man. Let me see what Long Girl said. Joe Budden is an interesting character and earns his hate, but you can't stop loving the guy. He is just too funny. See, we got some people up in here, you know what I'm saying, that can appreciate Joe, you know what I'm saying, can appreciate him, you know what I'm saying. Hate it or love it, you know what I'm saying. I almost don't even want to put this attention up there, but I'm trying to see, you know, I want to change the title of this. Well, let's just keep it. We'll keep it. All right, let me see what Raging Oracle is saying. I know you know he be on some hate way too much. Is he on hate way too much? I will say that he is polarizing. Polarizing meaning, you know, polarizing is like a juxtaposition between two things. It splits down in the middle and makes you choose a side. He's definitely polarizing. He definitely won't let you just sit in the middle and just be like, oh, I like either or. He's like, yo, you need to know your contract, you need to know your publisher, you need to know it. It's not acceptable for you not to know it. Where other people would be like, man, I guess it's okay, you're young, you could know it, you could figure it out. You know, he does not let you wade in the water. You know, he don't let you just sit on the fence. He's polarizing, and some of the things that he says splits you either left or right. And so sometimes it's hate, and he'll admit it. You know, it's like, you know, that's their new running joke that they have now. It's like, that's hate. You know, it's like, yeah, that's the thing that they say now. It's like, that's hate, and they admit it. So sometimes it's hate and sometimes it's not. Bro, I don't like when dudes have beef and someone trying to talk about it man to man, then the other publish the private convo about the beef. Okay, now I feel you on that one. You got a point. You got a point on that one. You got a point on that one. You got a point. And I think that him putting it on his Patreon, I think part of that is to kind of like not put it completely on Front Street, and it only would come from those that like pay to actually watch him, you know. I think that could be the case with that one. But I agree with you. I think if it's a private conversation, you probably shouldn't read it. You shouldn't do that. I'm gonna just say that you shouldn't do that. I'm having a private conversation with you. We talking, you know, whatever we're talking about. You know, you said some stuff on your platform. You know what I'm saying? I responded on Instagram, but now I'm contacting you. It's as if he, you know, what if they had a phone call and then he recorded the phone call and now he's spewing the phone call out. I feel you on that one. Now, also, watch this. Drake and Charlemagne the God have been having this back and forth thing just as much as him and Joe have. Charlemagne the God was able to basically make a joke of it and say, you know, oh, you know, we do this on purpose. You know, we do this on purpose to get his numbers up, to get people listening to the music. He was joking about it, but he's like, oh, we do this on purpose to get his numbers up and stuff like that. When you have people, I cannot DM Joe Budden or Drake directly. Like, if I do, it's just going to be a chat that's on a long list going down, okay? We can't talk to them directly. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what's actually happening. And until some real beef happen, where some fire come to the play, until some real beef happen, all you can really assume is, hey, everybody's trolling. All you can assume is that. That's all you can assume. You cannot assume that Charlamagne the Joe. But I'm saying everybody is trolling. Charlamagne the God is trolling. Joe could be trolling. Drake could be trolling. The whole thing. Everybody this could just be a thing to just keep everybody going, keep everybody listening, well, why did Joe Budden, why was he so harsh on his critique? Let me go listen to the album and see why he was so harsh. You don't know what the conversations they having in the background. You don't know what this could lead to. You don't know if this could be the moment that leads to Drake finally interviewing on the Joe Budden podcast. You don't know what could come out of it. Because we're not in those inner circles. We don't know what the conversation is. We don't know if they're really actually upset with each other, if Drake is really mad at the stuff that Joe said or not. We don't really know anything if it's really true. We don't know if they had a conversation where he said, hey, can I share these DMs on my podcast? And Drake was like, sure, go for it. We don't know what any of this stuff is going to be. When I looked at Drake had that interview with the girl, I think her name is Bobby, and then a whole bunch of stuff came out after that, and then they got her to like take the podcast down, or she took it down herself, and all this stuff. It's a reason why stuff happens, man. Stuff just don't happen for no reason. It's a reason why stuff happens. So I think that could be the reason. I think that there could be some behind the scenes conversations. It could be leading into something. It could just be troll. It could just be, hey, I wanted to share this because I care more about my platform than Drake's feelings. It really could be the case. It could be the case. It says, I shared this with the podcast because I knew a bunch of people from Patreon was going to come sign up to hear it. And I'm finna give y'all something juicy for y'all. So the next time y'all see me put something on Patreon, y'all know it's going to be just as juicy as this. I don't know. It could be a bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? It could be a bunch of things, man. Before I'm out of here, don't head out, man. I'm enjoying this, man. You gotta come back. We gotta talk some Joe stuff, man. We gotta talk some Joy stuff. Hey, do you listen to The Stop with Danny? Oh my God, The Stop. Let me get on The Stop real quick, man. Before I'm out of here, I must say I would freaking love to hear an old Joe Budden track, bro. New style, new flow, old flow, whatever, but a well-written track that ain't 200 bars. Joe understands the art of rollout 100%. Exactly. I was talking to my other buddy, and he was talking about that, whether or not Joe Budden. Do you think Joe Budden really gonna come back out with a? Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this. I feel this for sure. This is one thing that I feel for sure. Drake is not about to get no bars from Joe Budden out of this. Whatever is said and done, Joe Budden is not going to give any bars to Drake. That's one thing I know for sure. I will put that up here, okay? Joe Budden. Drake and Joe Budden. Man, he's not gonna get no bars, okay? He's not gonna get no bars. That's all I know. He's not gonna get no bars. He's not gonna get no bars from this. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get no bars from this. But I was talking with my buddy the other day, and we was like, hey, do you think Joe Budden will come out of retirement and give us a song or, drop some bars or something like that? And honestly, I don't think he will. I think he's played around with it. I think he's flirted around with it. He's joked around with it from time to time. But I think when it really comes down to it, I don't think that he will. I don't think that he will give any bars. I don't think that he will come out of retirement, because I think that he is enjoying very much everything that's happening with his podcast. You got to think about it like this, like he's making some money. He's making some money. The great thing about it is you have a podcast, but from that podcast, you're able to generate so many other things. From the podcast, you're able to generate a show with Amazon. You got State of the Culture. You got Everyday Struggle. You got, whatever comes it's not coming from thin air. Like, you know, people are seeing your face and hearing your voice, and that's causing these companies and people to say we want to do business. They're also seeing some of the bad business or bad deals that went south, or, you know, whatever the case is. But people are seeing the talent, they're seeing the opportunity, and they're seeing the engagement. So the podcast is able to generate, even beyond like what it's generating, you know, by itself. It's able to generate so much more because of the potential earnings that are there. It's able to generate something from that. So dang, I hate when that happens. I hate when somebody puts some. I saw Raging Oracle put a chat and then he deleted it. I hate when people do that before I get a chance to read it. I want to read what you deleted. And you know, it's all fun, y'all. It's all fun. We just hanging out. We just chilling, man. He's generating some money. So I don't think that he will bother, you know what I'm saying, doing that. I can't even say it like even for fun. Like, I feel like at some point, you know, the samurai just put the sword down, you know, the Jedi put the, you know, it's like, I don't need to get back in that fight. It's all good. I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's working for him. It's working for him. You know what I'm saying? I would be very surprised if a similar podcast with ads was making what he's making without ads. I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised. Okay, for sure. I'm only joking, Raging Oracle. I'm only joking about it. A couple bars back and forth could be fun. Something else is that Drake just but a track out, so he needs a little attention, negative or positive. So I think this is planned beef. Man, it could be. I think it could be. I think that. All right, so even in the Patreon, Joe Budden like held his hand back some. He had stuff that he could have read, but he decided not to read it, right? So he had a chance where he could have like put some more stuff out there, but he decided for whatever reason, like, all right, no, I'm not gonna read that. Like, that's too personal. So I don't know. I think that, to me, that kind of shows could be a situation where it's like, it could be a situation where this could be a planned rollout, and then also could be a situation where this is real, and this is a problem, you know, like this is gonna cause some issues, you know. It could be either or. It could be either or. But I don't think it's gonna turn into no rap beef. I don't think it's gonna go rap beef. Also, too, because it's like, I'm really trying to think about it. If Drake puts out a diss song first, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I really think that it will be more on some podcast wars. I feel like back when it was Meek Mill and Drake said something about sending bottles to Charlemagne, and then he sent bottles to Charlemagne. He was just doing all this like strategic stuff. I feel like something like that could happen. So I feel like Drake could like pop out at this moment and like go do a rival podcast, you know, like maybe Rory and Maul, or like he would like give a look to somebody who don't need that look, just in spite of Joe Budden. Like I feel like he would do something like that, and I think that's a smarter move than sending bars Joe's way. I think that's a smarter move. I don't think you get no credit for dissing Joe Budden in a rap. Like, people have done it before, and he's not rapping. So, but you know, but also I guess you got to look at it like this too. You got to say, if you put yourself in that game, then you got to be willing to hear the responses from it. Like, you know, you got to be willing to hear the responses. If people don't like you and they start dissing you in their songs, like, I guess you just got to be okay with that. Like, you can't want both. You can't be like, well, I want to critique y'all and talk about y'all on my show, but I don't want y'all to say nothing back to me. I guess you can't have it both ways. You got to like take the good with the bad, you know. I don't listen to Roy and Maul. I don't really listen to them. We can get into that. Why do you listen to them, Lone? Why do you listen? Why do you watch their show? Why do you watch their show? Let's get into that. I agree it could go both ways, but at the end, the public wins. I'm enjoying this. I did not enjoy him putting that podcast out on Patreon only. I didn't enjoy that because I feel like it would have been so much more in the conversation. It would have been so much more people talking about it and sharing it, because when it's not behind a paywall, then you got more people that's listening to it and they putting their footage, they putting their critiques, they putting their stuff out. So you got more people putting stuff out and faster. And then it's also like fair use, right? It's like, oh, it's fair use because it was free. But when you put it behind a paywall, it's like somebody could really have a really good take. And like, because it came from the Patreon, then it's like, oh, cease and desist. Like, no, don't let that go up. Don't let that go up. Cease and desist. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So it could go either way. It could go either way. It could go either way. But let me see here real quick. We was talking about, man, that thing still ain't came through. Waiting for it to come through, y'all. All right, so Joe used to battle rap for real. Joe didn't have the ears to blow in battle rap. Joe used to pick fights and diss dudes, but it went nowhere back then. We're going to have to listen to some of this stuff, man. I like those guys as much as the JBPC. I tried. You know what it was like? You know what it's like? It's like Iron Man versus Captain America. I went back and I watched that movie again, Civil War. It's like that. It's like, man, who do you root for? You know, it's like, who do you root for? Because, man, it's just tough. It's just tough. You know, we was all the Avengers. We was all together, you know, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I want this person to succeed and oh, I want that person to succeed. So I tried, though. I tried and I just couldn't do it. That's how I put it. I tried listening. I was just more entertained with Joe Budden. And that just was it. I'll go back sometime. I'll try to listen. It's just kind of different too, because it feel like listening to them from their perspective is like listening to it feel like listening to the person that was at Super Bowl and they made the bad mistake at, you know what I'm saying, at the 1 yard line. And now you just got to listen to them say, man, I wish I didn't make that mistake on the 1 yard line. Like, that's what it feel like listening to them. But listening to Joe, it just kind of feel like, man, I didn't win the Super Bowl, but it don't matter because now I'm on the PGA Tour, and I didn't win the PGA Tour, but it don't matter because now I'm going to the playoffs, and I didn't win the playoffs, but it's okay because it don't matter because it's just like I'm on to the next, I'm on to the next, I'm on to the next, and it's like y'all keep talking about the Super Bowl, and I already done moved on to the next thing. So it just kind of like has more momentum, it has more flow. You know, it was like, you know, we had this split. Y'all went y'all way, I went my way, and now it's like I'm gonna just keep doing this, and y'all do what y'all do. So yeah, it doesn't feel. Same thing with like Savon. Like Savon has his own show, and I think the one time I heard his show, the Need to Know podcast. The one time I heard the show, I was like, you know what? These people kind of interesting. This is an interesting podcast. Like, I like this. I would listen to this more. But it just, man, I got those same vibes. I got those same vibes of like, yo, we didn't win the Super Bowl, and now, you know, we just keep harping. We keep harping back on us not winning the Super Bowl. I just got those same vibes. So I was just like, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. But, you know, we'll try. At the end of the day, it's just like, boom. It's just a different feel. It's just a different vibe, man. To be honest, I don't think their content is for everyone, and they get political into conspiracy stuff, social music, everything, and I'm personally into those things, so they have kept my attention. Okay, dope. Like when they were on, like when Joe and Maul was JBP, you feel me? When they was on the Joe Budden podcast, and some of those things I did agree with. I could see why Maul is upset when Joe Budden says this podcast is not any of your business. I could see why he gets upset with that. I could see why, you know, some of the things that happen, I could see why, you know, they got upset with those things that happened. So it's definitely not the case where it's like, oh, y'all blowing this out of proportion and y'all don't need to like carry on about this. Like it's trash. It's not that. There's some standing ground in some places. There are. But it's just like, you know, say what you're going to say and be done with it. I lost my train of thought of what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought. Their content, let me see, what was I trying to say? When they was all together, you know what I'm saying? I like what they did for the podcast. I like the conversations that they had. You know, it was some real funny moments. I had those moments where it was like, you know how you laugh and you can't breathe and you really be thinking to yourself like, hey, yo, this is really finna be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like, I literally cannot stop laughing and I also can't breathe. I've had moments like that listening to their show, right? So I've definitely had moments like that, like, yo, this is it. This is the big one right here. Like, I can't stop laughing and I also can't breathe. This is a bad combination. So like I've had moments like that listening to them. So I've enjoyed the podcast when it was all of them. But I think I go back to it and I just say, like even like Joe Budden has this thing about like A mics and B mics and stuff like that. And you know, he talks about it because he's like, you know, certain people just shouldn't be A mics, meaning like, oh, that's the first person that's going to lead the conversation. Like certain people just shouldn't be A mics and some people should be A mics. And the one thing about it is just like Joe Budden he is the A mic. He is the A mic. Okay. So when you got a great A mic, then your B and C, you know, the people you kicking it to, you know what I'm saying? As long as they don't drop the ball, you good to go. Right. So Joe being a great A mic, he kicks it to like his new podcast, his new cast. When he kicks it to Ish, okay, Ish, all you got to do is not drop the ball. He done open it up for you. And he kicks it to Ice. Okay, all you got to use it. Boom. Or when Ice kicks it back to Joe, right? It's like it's easy for Joe to do that because he's a great A mic. I'll just leave it at that. Because I don't want it to come off as slander, but I just don't get who is the A mic, and I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. He got a platform right now. Wasn't always that way, and that's fine. And I think that is fine. I think that's fine. I think that you got to give some credence to. You got to give some credence to what people are doing to get them to where they go. Like I don't have a lot of subscribers. I got 5,500. I think that's what the number is at right now. I don't have a lot of subscribers, and somebody could be saying the same thing, you know what I'm saying, about to me. You know, it's like, Chris, you don't really have that many subscribers. You know, you don't have. But one day, not even one day, I won't go into the future. I'll go into the past. But in the past, before, I didn't even have enough subscribers to monetize the channel. And so it's just like, yeah, you have a platform now, but it's like also what was you doing in the meantime to get you to where you're going, right? What was you doing in the meantime? It was those days. For me, it was those days 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour live streams, trying to get that watch time up. It was those days in this garage recording videos, recording tutorials on Reddit, on Facebook group, trying to see what are people interested in, what kind of tutorials do they want. It was that work that brings you to the place that you are, right? It was the work. So it's like you build up and you keep going and you get there. So it's like you don't have the platform that you have today. Didn't have that back then, but there was a platform. You know what I'm saying? You might not be on the top of the mountain. You wasn't on the top of the mountain 10 years ago, but you was climbing that thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's give some credence there. Uncanny Telepathy, what's good? Shout outs to everybody watching the stream but not saying nothing. Y'all in the chat, y'all just listening to me destroy myself saying this stuff. This is like the stuff that be in my head to be like, don't tell nobody else you think this stuff. Caught it. Ah, that was gross. Fly in this garage. It takes time. Crawl before you walk. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't hate on him getting his money. I just don't like the stuff that seemed way out of character that has been doing and saying recently. I think you just don't like his character. Honestly. It's good stuff. I'm enjoying the chat. I appreciate you. I think it's just his character. I think you just don't like his character. I think that might just be the case. I think that you just don't like his character. He's one of those people that, like I always say, is just like not for everybody. It's like it's not for everybody. That's just the best way to put it. It's not for everybody. It's the people that love it are gonna love it, and the people that hate it are gonna hate it. But that's the thing about people that hate. Like, people that hate still watch. They still watch because they want to see what they're hating on. And like, the people that love it are love it and supporting it. But the people that hate it, you're supporting it also. I'm not talking about you, Raging Oracle. I'm just saying in general. People that hate, they're just as powerful because like they could be like, man, I don't like that guy, man, I don't listen to him. And that might turn some people away. But at the same time, that might attract some people. Like, you be like, man, I don't like that dude. He be talking about blank. And then like in your mind, you like, hey, I've been looking for somebody that talks about blank. You never know. And somebody could be bigging them up, like me, for example. I could be bigging them up like, oh, Joe, no, he's good, man. You know what I'm saying? He's funny. He's blah, blah, blah. And somebody be like, nah, I don't like dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got a fan don't mean the fan going to attract people, just like a hater is not necessarily going to detract people. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is different. He wouldn't have pulled some of this 10 years ago, but again, you're right about it possibly being entertaining. That's his character. That is his product. And that is what we Americans shopping for. American loves the bad guy. Joe is the bad guy, but also kind of good in a way. You know what I appreciate about Joe and his podcast, especially like with his, listen, nobody else gives it up the way Joe Budden gives it up. Nobody else is going to tell you the stories that he tell. Nobody, I think it's one other person that I could think of that was just like blatantly honest about some stuff. He's on a podcast. He's had tons of co-hosts, right? He has a ton of co-hosts. Rory, Maul, I can't think of the girl name. I'm trying to think of the girl name from I'll name their podcast. I can't think of her name. But her, Ish, Ice, Mel, Parks. I got something to say about Parks too. Lone, tell me what you think about Parks. I got something to say about Parks. Hold on, we're gonna circle back. He's had all these people. He'll be in the situation where he's like, listen, I had this experience. This is my experience learning to ride a bike. And he'll tell the entire story, how he fell, how he scraped his knee, how he was mad at his dad, how he was mad at his mom. He will tell, how he went back to the bike store and asked for his money back. He will tell the entire story, embarrassing or not, and then look to the co-host and be like, so y'all don't got no riding a bike story? what's up? I just bared my entire soul about riding a bike for the first time. What's up? Where y'all at? I'm saying from episode 1 to episode today to episode that's coming out tomorrow on Saturday. The exact same thing has happened every single time. He bears his entire soul. He tell us the entire story, everything. And then they just be like, yeah, it was hard. They be like, yeah, it was hard learning to ride a bike. Yeah, I agree. It was hard. Well, tell us more about it. Yeah, that's all I really could say. It was hard. Like, everybody just be trying to be cool. Like, they just be trying to be so cool. And just be like, come on, tell us what you really think. Like, tell us what really happened, you know? So that's just a point that I'm going to give him. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's a lot of Joe Budden hate. And it's a few Joe Budden love, and it's just like, that's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta give credit where credit is due. That's it. Okay, now let me look at this. Laugh Out Loud Parks. I would love to see him start a music podcast, tutorials or something. I think Parks is starting to shine, to be honest. He's quiet, but whenever he punches in, it's gold. We on the same wavelength. Hold on, let me see something. But he is a Joe suck up. We on the same wavelength. Similar. Big respect, Chris. I first saw you on my wedding day. Yo, congratulations to you, wedding day, man. In Portland, and you were playing guitar on the Voodoo Moon Blues Cruise, being watched by guards as you were underage. You killed. No, I wasn't. What? Who are you? Wait. Congrats on you getting married. But no, I wasn't. Oh. What? Wait. No! No, who are you? Oh, snap, that's another great. Oh, you could get wicked. Okay, let me compose myself. No, I turned it off. I didn't want y'all to hear me. That is crazy. Oh, man. I should have just took that and been like, yeah, man, you, shout outs to you, bro. Appreciate you. Oh, man. I didn't want y'all to hear me dying over here. Roger, who stole Roger Rabbit. Again, that was a good laugh. Oh, man, he said he high. Hey, no problem. I appreciate you. Shout outs to you, but no. That wasn't me. Congratulations to you. I hope your marriage and everything is still going well. Praying for you. That was funny. That was a good break. Shout outs to you. It's all love. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. We was talking about Parks. Maybe that's good. That was a good reset. So we can talk about Parks. I appreciate Parks for the person that he is, because sometimes he makes the podcast bearable, like listenable, because he too will like tell some honest truth, and it seems like it comes from honestly within him. I haven't heard a lot of times where it sounds like somebody is actually upset and like they're not acting. Like, say for example, Queen's Flip sounds like he'll be upset, but because I know he do skits and because I know he be doing pranks, it don't really ever feel like he's really upset. It's like he's like the boy that cried wolf, right? It's like, yo, are you really upset or not? It's like really hard to find out, right? So sometimes it be like that with him. So it's just like, but Parks, I've heard times listening to the pod where I'm like, oh snap, like it just got real. Like, or he'll be like, or he'll say something like, he'll be like, this just got weird, y'all. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, this is weird. Like, he will actually come out and say, like, this is weird. Like, this don't make sense. Why are we talking about this? And sometimes I feel for the dude because the podcast gets so racy. Like, it gets so racial. And it just be so, sometimes it's like cringe. It's like cringy because it's like, yo, you just got to flip it. You just got to flip it. When you flip it and you put 5 like white guys and 1 black guy in a room and they're having a conversation that they have, you like really feel how cringe it is. Now somebody will be like, oh, don't save that white man. Like he already, you know, it's just like, come on, y'all, man. God made us all, man. We can love everybody, okay? But that's the only time I'll be like, dang, like imagine being in this room and like this is the conversation, you know? We right there, I'm telling you, he knows how to stay out of it when it gets weird for him. I think it's messed up, but it is what it is. But he has been good all these years. Stand-up dude. I think that the fact that he has been around for as long as he's been around is a testament to, you know what I'm saying, just him and the addition that he has for the show. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it makes it really, it pulls it from like content when Parks talks and when he has something to say, because it feels like it's coming from a different place. And that's a weird thing to say, but that's how I feel about it, like when I be listening. Now on the other end of what you just said, yeah, like he'll have like these one-liners and they be really good one-liners. This is like, yo, this is Parks' thing now. Parks' thing is like waiting for just like that moment where he could just drop that one-liner and it hit every time. Now other than that, I think it would I listen to a bunch of podcasts, right? He does. He drops gold for sure. I listen to a bunch of podcasts. I listen to Brilliant Idiots. I listen to Flagrant. I listen to Joe. I listen to I make my own podcast with my church. I listen to a bunch of podcasts. I listen to Melanin Money podcast. I listen to Earn Your Leisure. I just listen to a bunch of podcasts, right? As I'm listening to these podcasts, when you listen to Joe Budden's podcast, it's just different. Joe Budden's podcast is now my litmus test for audio. If I listen to something and then I'm like, I can't tell, is that loud enough or is it clear enough? Or like, you know, what does this sound like? Like if I listen to something and I'm not sure, I'll put on Joe Budden's podcast side by side with it. Because Parks engineering just makes it sound better. No other podcast sounds as good as this podcast. Because it's something that he's doing. The choices they made with the board, with the microphone, the choices he's made in his mixing and whatever they're doing, like it just does not sound the same. With music too, this has been said plenty of times. When you listen, you could listen to a song on your iPhone, on your Apple or whatever. You could listen to a song and then listen to that song being played on the Joe Budden's podcast. And it's like, yo, like they turned up the sound goodizer. Like what happened? So it really has become a litmus test. And that is a testimony to the work that Parks does for the show. That's a good reference. So many people get mic set up wrong in their podcast. Yo, no, like, all right. So like, I'm not going to say which podcast it is, but one of the podcasts from the list that I just said, this is the experience of listening to their podcast. The podcast comes on. They're talking. They're talking. They're talking. Their volume is like here. Their volume, their clarity is here. It's right here. It's like they're talking, volume and everything is right here, right? And then the advertisement comes on. So they done paid for this advertisement. And the advertisement is up here. Now, it's not because It's not because the advertisement is like, hey, play our stuff really, really loud. It's because the podcast is not brought to the right level. So, of course, the podcast is super thin, super quiet. So now you got this advertisement. The advertisement come on and it's loud up here. So I'm like, yo, take some of that money that you making from them advertisements and get your audio right. Like, I can't understand why you got this podcast, how you got an advertisement of your voice being recorded, and the advertisement of your voice being recorded is lower than your actual podcast. What is happening there? I don't know, but anyway. Willie Jackson Jr., what's good, man? I don't understand why. I don't understand why they do that. You know what I'm saying? Bro, your platform is kind of podcast-ish, to be honest. Listen, like, I would love to take it there. I would love to take it there. The truth is like, it's the pivot, it's the turn, right? It's the change. Like even this live stream right here, and you're not supposed to pod about the pod or, you know, live stream about the live stream, but whatever. I've been doing fourth wall breaks. Is it a fourth wall if you're talking directly to the camera? I don't know, but anyway, I've been letting people into my mind all night long. I'm supposed to be getting into music and beat making and stuff like that. Reason just updated 12.7. Go get that 12.7. 51% of you say that you have not updated to 12.7. What's going on? I wanted this, you know, I want this to be a Reason, you know, a Reason place where people can, you know, music production. Like, you know, when you go to my YouTube, you know, when you go to the YouTube, it says exactly what I wanted to say. Chris Reed Beats, learn music production, right? And like that's just been the, you know, that's been the vibe. It's been like, okay, you know, we learning music production, and we're using Reason in order to do that. Learning music production, using Reason. But man, I mean, you know, do I have like a zeal or do I have like a urge to like want to do like stuff like this? Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I like just talking. I like just talking with y'all and talking about what's happening out there. So, but I also don't want to like start doing something that is contrary to what the majority of people have come to my channel to see, which is like me cooking up beats, or at least at the very least talking about making beats, you know, just something that has something to do with music. But man, shoot, if y'all let me, I want to do a whole lot of stuff. And I want to, in terms of that, but it is what it is. They make all this money, but I still can't hear. That part right there is just, I don't know what to say about that, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about so one, it's a testament to how good that podcast sounds is because of Parks. I appreciate Parks for that, right? And it's also a testament to what's happening with the other people. Like what's happening with their podcast. Like I've gone through the process of uploading a podcast, right? And when I go to upload the podcast, like we recorded our podcast using the Rode, let me switch this real quick. It's the Rode Pro Podcaster. So like Rode's Podcaster 2 or something like that, right? I'll show you guys this real quick just so you can see what I use real quick to record this podcast. Kind of looking like this. This kind of look like the setup a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Rode Podcaster 2. This is what we recorded in using this mic, pod mic. This mic is $100, and this system right here, this interface is exactly what it is. You can see right there, $658. I think brand new is $699. Yep, there it is, $700, right? And so that's what we record. We record on. If you just get that and you record your podcast with just that, like it will multi-track all of the signal. It has a leveler on there. You can set the microphone to a specific kind of sound, like if you want it to sound bassy or deep, or it has all of the settings, and you can just bake it into the sound right there, right? So you could bring everything to 0 dB. Everything is set for you right there. So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just like, okay, that's $700. And if it's a mic if it's 3 microphones, $700, let's say I spend $1,000 for 3 microphones and that podcaster, right? I spend $1,000. I should be able to get a sound. I should be able to get a sound out of that device that when you hear it on Apple and Spotify, like, it actually sounds good. I should be able to. So now, if you are using something less than that, then it's kind of like, well, what are you doing? This is one of the things that Joe Budden talks about all the time. It's like these podcasters that are not actually investing into the podcast, right? You are not investing into the podcast. And so you could have some numbers, you could have some traction, but it's like you're only going to get so far because we can't hear your podcast. Now, it's something to be said about information, because I'm telling you, even though the podcast is not loud enough, it don't sound right, it don't sound good, the information, whoo, the information is worth it. So it's be like, all right, we just got to deal with this, man, because the information is so good, man. There are some other good things. I have seen that Vocaster. You could get a Focusrite. Like, I have a Focusrite 2i2. That's cool for a two microphone podcast setup, right? You can get or you could get a better one, for more microphones. And in that way, you have some outputs as well, and you can do some headphones and stuff like that. But this right here is just, this is what you need. I mean, like, unless you're going to spend more than this, like, unless you're gonna like be somewhere that has like a radio broadcast mixer, like a system that is gonna have like much more, analog, much more, unless you're gonna have something that's gonna have a lot more quality than this is like a standard to me, because you got your headphone outs, you get 4 headphone outs. Let me see, we'll pull this one up. You get 4 headphone outs. You can adjust the headphone outs. You get 4 microphone ins, but you also you could put 2 Bluetooth. You could put Bluetooth. I think you could do 2 Bluetooth microphones, or maybe 1 Bluetooth microphone, but then you also can do, you can connect it to 2 computers. So you can have one computer, essentially one computer can be running a Zoom call, and then that audio is coming into the Rode and going back out into the Zoom call, and then you can have another one. So you got like so many, you got more than just 4, more than just 4 microphones. And if you want to be ghetto,
sorry, something went wrong.
I know, it's because you used to be called Alexa, but I changed your name. If you want to be ghetto, then you can run some splitters. You can run splitters to these microphones and run a dual splitter and have 8 microphones instead of 4. And, you could do that if you wanted to. I'm just saying. But with that, you should be able to get a decent audio. You should be able to get a decent audio. There's no way that there's no way that you got these podcasts that's like making this money. They got Patreons. They got super chats coming in on YouTube. You got podcasts that's got all this stuff going on, and the audio is just like not where it need to be. It's not where it need to be. And so that's the difference. Now, like say, for example, somebody can say something about me, right? Like, I am using a blue microphone, okay, USB microphone, Blue Yeti. I'm speaking across it, so not directly into it, because this is directly into it and this is across it. And somebody can say, oh, your mic don't sound that great. I'll be like, cool. I could also show you how much I make from YouTube. And you'll be like, carry on. Like you be like, I see why you got that USB Blue Yeti microphone. You ain't quite made it there yet. You ain't did what you need to do in order to upgrade this situation. Okay, I get it. That's why you don't have, the SM7B. I can't, that's why you don't have that microphone. That's why you don't have a better interface or whatever, because you ain't took the steps to upgrade this thing, and you're not on the same level. We ain't in the same ballpark, you know what I'm saying? But can we get the levels right though? Can we at least get the levels right though? Are we peaking? Are we hitting the red? Can people hear you? Do they have to turn you up? Like, are they begging for more volume? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just get the levels right, man. That's all I'm saying. What loudness meter rack extension do you use? Okay, we got a reason question. I'll show you the one that I use. I'll show you right now. I'm gonna pull it up. Right now, and then I'm also going to excuse me. I'm gonna pull it up, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. In the meantime, while that's coming up, it's hot. I'm the type of person, like, all right, so like with the video, I studied so much and like watched every review that I could possibly watch. And I used to have a different lens than this. But I always knew that I wanted this, right? Like I knew I wanted this. I wanted to have, a really good lens and camera that could just make that super blurry and just blur the heck out of that. And like, but give you like a good video, as well. Like if I turn this down, like all of a sudden, like this don't look as good. This don't look as nice because we turned the f-stop. Look, it's hunting and everything. It's like, what's going on? Okay, we're going to turn it back up. F1.2, right? Got the lighting. I knew that this was important, you know what I'm saying, for the visual that I want. And if I'm being honest, the lighting and visual is still not like where I want it. It still could be better. I turned my garage from the location that it was at. Like we did things, right? We did things. I'm looking at my trumpet that I bought right there, but there's a light that's shining down on the trumpet to make it pop a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like little things that you do in order to get the look, and like a lot of times, like people would be talking about this stuff like, oh yeah, just get you a key light. Here's the key light. Here's without the key light. Oh, get you a key light and get you a side light and get you like a hair light. And, they talk about all this stuff that you need to get, and they never talk about the camera, but they using like a $10,000 camera. It's like, bruh, okay, but also talk about that camera that you got, because that camera is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it take a lot of money to get that stuff. But that's one of the things. It's like investments, right? It was like, I know that I want to do live streaming. I want to do video recording. And so it's like, you put in for that. You know what I'm saying? You put in for that. What cam lens are you using? Yeah, you're getting bokeh. Okay, haha, that's what it was with the trumpet, man. Okay, it felt natural, but you really put the work in. Appreciate it. So this is a Sony a7 III. I have Sony a7 III, and then this is a Sigma 24 millimeter 1.2. So that's the camera that's giving me the look. The f-stop right now is like 1.2. The shutter speed is 1/50, right? I'm filming at 4K, 24 frames per second. This is a 4K stream that we're doing through OBS. And I think it's technically a 2K stream. I think it's not, but it still comes up as it's above HD, which is like 1080. It's above HD 1080. It's a 2560 by 1440. So, it's doing what it needs to do. And then like to do that, I have to like take this cord. I have to take an Ethernet cord and stretch it throughout my kitchen and living room into my Wi-Fi router, so I'm not going off of wireless. Like I gotta go through Ethernet. But the camera is like, yeah, like just like if I turn that light off, right? Like it's not bad. Like we could do that. And that probably would be okay. It's just you could see a lot of shadow on that side of my face, and you know what I'm saying, that could be a decent look, you know what I'm saying. Oh, I forgot about this one right here. I got a little light right here too that's just like down here. I don't know if I really need that one or not. I just never turned it off. But you could leave that off, but I like it, you know. It could go either way. Computer hair light off. It ain't gonna. Well, did you mean? Okay, well we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna just mess up the live stream because Alexa don't want to cooperate. But I have it set up to where Alexa can turn off my lights and stuff like that. So I was gonna show you what some of the lights do. So key light is important. Hair light, you know what I'm saying, rim light, side light, lighting really does make a difference. You know what I'm saying. I'm trying to get this thing on here. And, you know, that was just one of the things that was important to me, was getting that look. So I studied it. I learned it. I tried to figure it out. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? I tried to figure it out. And, you know, we're getting better. We're just going to keep getting better to try to get that look that we're trying to get. I might leave that light off because it's low key. Like, as soon as I turn it off, it got like so much cooler in here, y'all. It's just like, whoo. What brand of trumpet do you play? This brand is... what is the brand on this? Medina, something like that. Medina, is that Medini trumpet? Let me see. Yeah, Mendini. I'll show you right now what trumpet it is. So it's this trumpet. You know what I'm saying? Mendini is this trumpet, but it was used. That's cool. Little blue. We got some blue ones. Something about a silver. I'll be thinking about sometime. Like, oh man, we should check that out. See what that's like. But the trumpet is the trumpet, man. But this is the brand, and then I got it from Sam Ash, and it was used. So I got a Sam Ash used. It was $100. Okay, I'm supposed to be showing you something on Reason, and I finally got it up, so I'm gonna show you right now. Wait, I lied. I don't have it up. Okay, no, I don't want to show that. So let me see this. Let me turn this off real quick. Let me put my headphones on. Let me make sure that you know what I'm saying, we can hear stuff right. Okay, cool. So the audio is sounding right. Can't tell you how many times I did this audio and it wasn't sounding right. All right. So let's pull up the master section real quick. And let's add this guy in real quick. Where's that? You're exceptional. I'm just thinking all the time. There it is. Let's add that you in there. All right, cool. So I'm gonna just do some routing real quick. I'm gonna send the control room out into the loudness meter, and I'm gonna send the out back into here so you guys can hear it again. Let me make sure it's there. Boom. I know we just kind of jumping in and out of stuff, but now we in Reason. All right, so this is the loudness meter. I saw somebody ask that earlier. Who said that? Aeroplane says Drink Champs need to take some tips from you. Drink Champs, in which part? In which part from Drink Champs? Because Drink Champs got really good. They got some decent audio. They got good audio and visual. Ben Bowman, you ain't missing nothing, man. You all good. Oh, that was Aeroplane that said that. Okay, what loudness meter rack extension do you use? So I use Ulean Loudness Meter 2, and it is free. And the way that you use this guy, so, you know, you hit this X and it tells you the loudness, the LUFS right here. And I got you on my mind. You're exceptional. I'm just thinking all the time. So we're getting about negative 12. It's pretty good. And then if we want, you know, we can get some more. Oh wait, it's this one. So if we want, we can come over here to the level and we can turn it up and then see what number we get now. Yeah, so we got louder. Now we're at negative 10. So it really just depends on, you can use it like that, pull us back down to 0. That's why I like using the control room out, because you can just add a little bit of level here and there or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that. Thanks for the demonstration. I've been using Flower Audio Loudness Meter. Oh, I never heard of that one. Flower Audio Loudness Meter. I never heard of that one, but this one is that one, and it's free, completely free. So yeah, go check that out. Now I saw, yeah, but what was you talking about with Drink Champs? You said also it's like a different, like, it's so many things you got to think about with this podcasting and everything like that. We've been doing this without no music. Maybe we keep the music off. I was thinking about having some music in the background or something, but Drink Champs has like this is a solo pod. Like, this is a solo live stream. That's one person. Oh no, don't do it, Chris. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Their room has too much reverb and the gates on the mic sound choppy sometimes. You spend like a minute on that and I learned so much. Never use the control room in Reason. I'm about to back this up and check it. Yeah. I got like a whole video on the control room out and the mixer area and everything like that as well too. Yeah, I don't know what it is about. Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about. I mean, usually vibe. That's the word I'm looking for. It's vibe. Vibe is the word I'm looking for. It's different vibes for different podcasts and for just different content in general. Like, for example, I can think of this one show by this one individual who was on YouTube and Twitch. And this individual has a lot of viewers. But when you look at the show, like, and especially like making a lot of money, right? Definitely still using like a Logitech 1080 webcam, right? Definitely still using a USB microphone. Like, they have not upgraded that at all. And because the vibe of the show is that. The vibe of the show is not, you know what I'm saying, production. Like, this is a production. This lights, cameras, this is a production. But that's what I wanted. That's the vibe that I wanted. We got the little LED light, in the background. That's the vibe that I wanted. We kind of own a set. We kind of own like a set here. We got, piano and drums. You know what I'm saying? We kind of set a vibe. And that person's vibe is kind of like, I'm in the basement, you know what I'm saying, finna share some stuff, finna get some stuff off my chest. So, they're not going for it. They're not going for the vibe of, production or, whatever. But I just would think like, dang, if you're going to be doing it, like, you should have that production level up. Okay. So like, for example, like, I'm looking at like Drink Champs, right? And, I'm looking at this, right? I'm not going to really play it. But I'm looking at this real quick. All right, so this is the Shure SM7B. I can never think of how you say that name right. Look at the distance between the speaker's mouth and the microphone, right? And we're just gonna take a look at it a couple different times. Even Nori kind of gets it where it should be. You know, they kind of get it, like in this moment right here, the microphone was like where it needed to be. But a lot of times that's not the vibe. A lot of times the vibe is not like, it's more like this. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, a lot of times the vibe is not, we on a podcast, I want you to make sure I hear my, you know, it's like, it's not that. The vibe is you guys are getting an outside look into this moment, right? So it's like, hey, if the microphone catch it, then it catch it. If it don't, then it don't. It's not like we gotta make sure, like none of them have headphones on. Or see, I think DJ FN, okay, FN did have headphones on. Okay, DJ FN had headphones on. But, you know, for the most part, the vibe is we just trying to catch this moment. You know, we got the cameras is there to catch this moment. You know what I'm saying? And it's fun. And it'd be like a whole lot going on. It'd be a whole lot going on the show that is part of the experience. You got people. It's 3 people mainly on the show, but it's like 15 people in the room. It's like all kind of people in other places doing other things. It's a party. What's the thing that they used to say? They used to say it's like New Year's Eve or something like, it's like New Year's Eve party. Every episode is like New Year's Eve party or something like that. It's specifically the one with Busta Rhymes that was particularly inaudible a lot of the time. Let me go to that. But I'm telling you, I would gather to say probably the reason why is because of the placement of those microphones. Is because of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm even just looking at this thumbnail where I can see Jim Jones and the placement of the microphone. It's like, it's not set up like, oh, this is a radio interview and we want to make sure that, you know, we get the audio. It's set up like, you know, all right, you know, we're gonna get some audio, you know what I'm saying? We'll get some audio and it's gonna be all good. Just hang out with us, you know what I'm saying? It's really about the vibe, you know what I'm saying? Dang, this Busta Rhymes one from 2 years ago? Yeah, no. Bruh. Watch when I show y'all the placement of this. No. Don't be trying to play stuff. Watch when I show you the placement of that microphone. Good microphone. Watch when I show you the placement of it. And this is no, I'm not saying this against them. I'm not saying this against Busta. I'm saying this is a part of the vibe. This is the vibe of the show. The vibe of the show is we having a conversation. The cameras and the microphones is extra, right? That's how I feel the vibe of the show is. They drinking, they smoking, they doing their thing. We not here to be all specific and let me make sure I'm talking into the microphone. Like that's not what the show is. But when I show you this, you'll know exactly why the audio sounded how it sounded. Okay, you ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Do you see that? The microphone this is not a shotgun microphone. This is aimed toward the chest right now. This is not going to be picking up the audio the way you want it to be picking up the audio. If this microphone, I'm trying to see what the microphone is because it's not the Shure SM7B. So they have upgraded, or you know, they're using different microphones now. They're not using the same microphone. But look, everybody's microphone is like that. Where's Nori? Look, he's standing up. He's not even in front of the mic right now. Where is Nori's mic? Nori. Okay, wait. I'm trying to get to, because we can see Busta Rhymes' mic is nowhere near his face. DJ F, nowhere near his face. Is nowhere near. It's pointed at his chest. It's not the kind of microphone that's gonna get what you want from it being pointed at his chest. It's not a knock or shot to them. This is how they run their show. The show is awesome. You know, the show is doing what it got to do. But look, Nori's mic is the same way. It's the same way. And that's the reason why you're getting that. And that's I'm trying to find I had just seen one where you could really see. Yeah, I mean, look, you could just looking right here, you can see here is his face and his microphone is down here and it's pointed down. It's not even pointed like at his chest. And, you know, that's just like microphone placement. That just has something to do with, like I said, the vibe, the feel of the show. Matter of fact, these cameras is here because we want to see y'all face. So we don't want to have microphone in front of y'all face. We don't even want that. We don't want that vibe. Same reason for this. My mic could probably sound a lot better if specifically if I was like this, like, you know, right into the mic. But because I don't want the microphone in the shot, it's down here and I talk past it, and talking past it helps with the plosives like the P's and s's, the semblances of the S's and stuff like that, because it's not going directly into the microphone. It's going past the microphone, and the shot is set up so that you don't ever see the microphone and we just hear talking one on one. We just talking together. You know what I'm saying? But if I had a Shure SM7B, I think that's what it's called. If I had one of those microphones, I might put that microphone in the shot. I might just put that microphone in the shot. So I could see why. As soon as I seen that, I can see right away. Chris, it's been a great show. I have to jump off for tonight. Thank you, sir. It was a great pod, and looking forward for another one in the future. Appreciate you, man. Shout outs to you. What we need to do is really structure it. We'll do that one day. We started this live stream off because I just wanted to talk about some stuff. For sure, it's a great show, and props to Nori for doing what he does. Absolutely. Shout outs to Nori. Flowers to them. The show is great. The show is great. But it's just like, yeah, it's like, I don't even think it's meant to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like how most other podcasts are, where it's like deep voiced, you know, directly into the microphone and we're talking about certain topics. It literally is a party. It's like a party. It's New Year's Eve. Every time you listen to the podcast, it's just a different vibe. And for that vibe, we don't necessarily need, you know what I'm saying, high fidelity, you know, audio from every single microphone or whatever. For this show, for this live stream, what we was talking about was, we said we need to be more prepared and we need to have a plan. And we were talking about the show that we had Beat Showcase with Curtis King. That was dope. That was a dope opportunity, and I kind of tried to just I had an opportunity where I could have did some research. I could have did some recon, and essentially, yeah, I went into the mission with no background, with no nothing, man. And I guess if I wanted to, I could give myself some grace and I could say, hey, it was a new experience. The whole thing, you just experienced it as exactly what it was, something brand new for you. And I could just say that, right? And I could just say, we experienced something new for the first time, and, you know, it just turned out how it turned out. I went around and saw the different performers. I had never been to that festival in general, like I've never been to the festival at all, let alone been there to perform or do this showcase. So even all of that is like something to be said, right? I guess that's something we could have did. Let's go to, because I have I have some clips and video, but I don't think it never came through, unless I'm on the wrong. I'm an amateur, bro. If y'all didn't know by now, I am an amateur. Nah, I was on the wrong email, man. I was on the wrong email. That's crazy. I was on the wrong email. That's crazy. But anyway, I wanted to share some stuff with y'all. Let me see if I play that, if y'all can hear it. we talked about being prepared. We talked about this being, a different opportunity where we could do some stuff aside from music production. We're going to actually prepare that. We got to prepare what that is. I have some ideas because I like the idea. I've been playing around with it on like the YouTube shorts. I've been playing around with doing some reactions, like doing reaction content. I've been playing around with the notion of that. My wife and I have actually also been playing around with the notion of certain podcasts, listening to the thoughts and the takes that they make, and then like just giving our own takes on that, sitting here like talking about it and just, just reflecting on it. We had a real good conversation about marriage and just about like when you like should get married. And we are celebrating 6 years of marriage this weekend. Shout outs to us. So it was just like an interesting conversation that we was having that was sparked. It was sparked by this other podcast, by these other. So we were thinking about doing stuff like that. Like, okay, we don't have to like come up with the content and stuff like that. There's plenty of content out there. Let's just, let's feed off of some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's feed off some other stuff. And so we were thinking about doing it like that. 1475. Okay, so I got that one. 1476. Give me that. So I'm just downloading these files because I want y'all to see some of the clips. I was supposed to do this already, but we'll see how it goes, man. Which one is this left? 1477, 1478. Smooth. I was on the wrong email the whole time. I'm like, man, it's not coming through. I sent the videos, but they're not coming through. Oh, what's happening? And I'm on the wrong email the entire time. Shout outs to other people too that do shows and stuff that are produced. Like you got a producer and you got people behind the scenes. Like there's this one live stream that I really like watching. It's called Live Streaming Pros. I like this YouTube channel. I believe the lady's name is Lori. I believe that's her name. But I really like watching her. I really like watching. Hey, thanks for the congratulations, man. Do I ever play live? No, I don't ever play live. And this would have been the first opportunity for me to play live if I had got my act together. That could have been an opportunity. I should have just came ready and been like, boom, set the laptop up, set the keyboard up, and did it. But I wasn't gonna be ready for that anyway. I would have been fumbling around like I'll be fumbling around in here. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something dope and play something dope. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But I don't play anywhere live. I don't play anywhere live. No, just in here in this garage. Just in here in this garage. Okay, so we got 81. I guess this one. I'm downloading all the files now, y'all. So y'all can see some of the performance. I was supposed to do this earlier. Oh. I wonder if she made that pizza. We supposed to be having some pizza tonight. I wonder if she made that pizza or not. Tasia! Dang. What? Come here. Did you? No, you're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Did you make the food? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Noise that I keep hearing like a beat.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, you go. I mean, I know you're live streaming.
You said you keep hearing a noise and it's, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me come check it out. I'm gonna play this for y'all real quick. Dang. Let me see something. Let me see. Can I play this? from the showcase, y'all.
Oh, wait. Your head was...
Okay, do it again so I'm not talking. I want to look at the actual screen.
They can't connect. They be running out of breath. My shit like a threat. You can feel it in a text. It's mostly the voice. Why it gets respect. It's like a sleeping giant. I give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it, baby. If you give it to me, I give it to you. As long as you want. Let me hear you say. Okay. Oh, that's all I was about to say, baby. Okay. Here we go. We started out roll off the leap on the road, putting up in the streets like we went down.
It was a lot of fun. But all right, so let me see real quick. Let me see. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here's Young Beans, for example. Here's Young Beans. This is the guy went before me. Okay, so now let me just like speak through this real quick, right? Like this. Oh man, what's happening? Oh, this is good. Oh well, let me see. Where's the mic? Where the camera? Okay, cool. We can do it like this. Oh, that's perfect. All right, here we go. Boom. Oh man, like just like I meant to do it. All right, so look, like, so this track, and a lot of the tracks like it, this is what I mean. I needed to hear this track on this stage, because now I know, like, when I'm making beats in Reason, like, oh, this produces this kind of feel in a live event. So if I make beats with this drum and with this bass guitar or with these settings, like now it's like, oh, I can hear it. I can feel the thump. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like it makes a difference. Like if I had to just be like, okay, like what's the one thing that's gonna like help you make you a better beat maker or like help you in your production, it would be that, like being able to hear your music in more than just one environment. Like being able to hear it in an environment where other people are listening to it, that is important. Being able to hear your music in an environment other than how you created it, that is important. A lot of my beats, I'm making them in this garage and listening to them in this garage. And so like sometimes in the car, sometimes on the TV, or sometimes on my phone or something like that. But you got to be able to hear your stuff outside of the place that you make it. I think it makes a big difference. And like this, like really like it felt good. It felt good. But if I have to be honest, like really thinking about it, like I don't know if I would have played this track. I don't know if I would have played this track if I didn't play it. If I didn't play it, I don't know if I would have like had that ready to go in the queue. But because like this is what I'm doing, like I'm on my laptop. This is the, you know, the setup that they had there. That audio interface that you see, that solo, it's just there. That solo, this right here, I'm not using that. It's not plugged into anything. It's just there. This is my backpack that was supposed to have my camera in it that ended up just having a bunch of random stuff and didn't have nothing I needed. So I'm on the laptop the whole time. I'm like trying to like figure out what I'm gonna play next. Like I really like commend like Young Beans. Like when he played his, it's like he pressed play and then from there on out, it's just he got to vibe with the music. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had just prepared it a little bit better. But like this, I feel like this sounds like a gospel track or something. I don't know if I would have played this for this environment. It's just kind of people looking around like, yo, like we going to church right now? So like that track right there, like I knew I wanted to play that track. I think this probably should have been my last track. That was the other thing. I went over my time. I definitely went over my time. I don't know by how much, but it was over my time. And yeah, man, just, you know what I'm saying? We got to do better. We got to do better. We just got to do better. That's all I can say. But I'll just play this real quick. We got to do better. But you've probably heard this track on my YouTube before. It's probably one of my favorite tracks. Got to play guitar on it, bass guitar, drums, just like a lot of Reason production. All Reason production, I should say. A lot of Reason production, like Reason electric bass, Reason drum kits, Reason piano, process piano, radical piano, all of that. So like Reason semi-stock, like it's Reason instruments, but not exactly like stock, right? And then it's just the guitar that I play. don't know what's happening in the background, like somebody getting stabbed or like like somebody was going off, like, but I heard like it was crazy, man. It was hot in there. So I think we played that one already for sure. So this is the outside. Get ready to go in. The happiness of pursuit. We played this already too. This is me walking in, Raw Digger. All right, cool. So I pretty much whatever I had, we already played it. And there's Curtis King's name right there. All right, cool. So overall, a dope show, a dope event. Overall, a dope show and a dope event. I just wish that I had prepared that a little bit better, but we will in the future. We definitely will. Now that we've experienced it, we'll definitely be able to do better. All of the pizza is gone, man. I had to hop in there and make sure I get at least one slice, boy. I had to get me at least one slice. I know I'm finna go get me some. I ain't worried, but it's some left for me. That's an enjoyable groove you got going. It's good music. If this tune was in my band, I would have wrote some horn line and take it to the stage of power. I'd rather hear this more than 808 all day long, fresh out the pot. I would love to play my, I can't see because this thing right here. I would love to play my beats live at an event like this, right? And I think like there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. Like he gave that opportunity, but I think that there's an opportunity for us to like create another event for this kind of situation. Like beat battles is another thing, right? And like I have never done good at beat battles. I won one round of a beat battle, and it essentially, this is a pattern. I gotta break this pattern somehow, some way. We gotta get out of this, man. But I won one round of that beat battle, and then when the next person came up, it was like, yeah, you was not. What was you doing? These are not beats for beat battles. But that was back in the day, and so I've not beat battles. What I'm saying is there's an opportunity for an event of this caliber. The same way LaRussell is doing shows in his backyard, you know what I'm saying? We could have producers do an event where they're showcasing their beats, and it's not a beat battle. So a lot of times beat battles is like the thing that comes up in my feed. Like it's an event that you can sign up for or go to. It'll be like a beat battle, or like people email me and say, hey, do you want to be in a beat battle? And it's like, I don't want to be in a beat battle, but a beat showcase where it's like, hey, you got opportunity to play your beats live at an event where people can vibe to it. Like I would look up and like see like ciphers of people, like they huddled in circles and they like rapping and stuff. Like you could kind of hear it in some of the background of the music. But it was like a 20-25 minute set, and even like those clips right there, like that's all the clips that I got recorded. And shout outs to my wife for helping me record those and get that information. But like we should have the whole set, and I know that Curtis King has the set as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like his thumbnail that he did for that. The thumbnail that he did for it and whatever, but he was live streaming the set, and I was looking at so many ways that we could have did something different, and that I could have done something different so that I could have recorded this showcase. But I'll show you one more track. So this track was vocals from Curtis King. A lot of this stuff too, if you've been on the live stream, a lot of this stuff people have heard before because it's stuff that I created while on the live stream. So like this was one of those tracks.
Sound is on. All right, let's go. Here we go.
Trying to get the crowd going.
Come on. Last time. Go.
if you're listening to that, like you can hear the click, you can hear the metronome click from my laptop because I'm playing it live on Reason, right? I'm playing it live on Reason, on a Reason file. I'm playing it live on a Reason file. And so I didn't turn the metronome off so you can hear the click, but I figured it out and I turned the metronome off eventually. But man, I appreciate y'all for watching me, man. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Like, I was just like, I want to talk about this and get it off my chest and go through it. But boy, I hope y'all enjoy the stream, man. If you guys want to see more of this, if you guys want to see more of the showcase, especially the rest of the rappers, you can go to Curtis King's. You can go to Curtis King's page, and you can watch the rest of the show on his page. Oh, yeah, I have fun. Come on, Brett. Yeah. Not gonna lie and say I didn't have fun or something like that. Definitely have fun. But if you guys are interested, I'm gonna put the link in my chat so you guys can see the chat and whatnot. Wait, where are we at? Boom, paste. And if you guys want to check that out, y'all can check that out and whatnot. Okay. Let me see right now. I would not have known the metronome was running without you saying it. That's the difference. You make music, not beats. Timbaland does his beats. Timbaland does his beat reviews. Yeah, I'm down. Beat Cypher. Yeah, Beat Cypher. That would be dope. That would be dope. That would be dope. I know that's something that some people was asking for this channel too, is like to just do more like times where you can send music in and we vibe to it. And I'm just telling you this is what I learned from this experience. It helps. It's fun. And it's just an experience that you need. You do need to be able to have other people hear your stuff and to vibe with you in that moment, especially because moments that you think might be like, yeah, like this is the part right here, like it might fall flat. And then it give you another perspective like, oh, I thought that was going to be a part that people really were interested in. And it turns out that it's not. And so it could just turn out like, I thought this was going to be a high point of the beat. And then it turns out it wasn't a high point of the beat at all. Right. And so it's important to let other people hear it. Cause then it's like, oh, like this is a point. Like when I let my wife hear the beats, like she hears beats all the time, but specifically when we were going to the show to listen to the tracks, like she was like anticipating things that wasn't there. And she was like I was asking her like yes or no, like don't think about it. Like when you hear the track, just tell me yes or no, should I play this there? And she would anticipate things and be like, and get to the point where it's like, well, the beat never changed, so I gotta say no, because it basically was just going on and on and on, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to keep her attention, essentially. It's like the same thing with like videos these days. Like when you turn on the video, when you turn on a TikTok or shorts or Instagram reel, it's like things have to be happening. Like you pretty much need to have an edit happening every 3 to 5 seconds to keep people's attention. Music doesn't have to be that, you know, that quick, but it should have that kind of an element where it's like things are happening and you're moving, you're telling a story and it's moving, it's progressing. And so a lot of times we be stuck in like 4-bar loops. That's it's like the beat is just looping through this 4 bars. And there's nothing wrong with a loop, but what if it was a 12-bar loop instead of a 4-bar loop? So it was like, okay, cool. It went through the 12 bars and then those 12 bars just repeated. Even that, where it's like 12, like for 12 bars, something was happening differently every bar. Like that would be something more than just having a 4-bar loop that repeated 3 times. Keeping people's attention is important. And I noticed that when I was listening to like other people beats at the showcase, where it's like, oh, look, that beat comes on and it's like you can see the segments of the track, right? It's not just like a loop that continues over and over again. It's like you can see the segments that's happening. So Fresh Out the Pot says, you're right. It's good to have a second set of ears for feedback. I use my wife for review all the time. Yes. And you know, and with that, it's also like, it's good to have somebody that's like critical too, right? Like my wife in general, I love my wife. Like, she is so nice. She is so kind. Like, she is like the nicest person that I know, right? And so like, even if she wanted to be critical, it's like hard for her to be, right? Like, that day on the way to the showcase is the most critical I've ever heard her ever. Usually it's like, no, that sounds good. Like, I love it. Like, it's great. Like, it's just like, so you gotta find people that'll be critical too. Like, there's somebody critical that watches my live streams, and sometimes I appreciate it, and sometimes I'll be like, man, it's too much. Just be nice. Sometimes I'll be like, it's too much. Just be nice. You know what I'm saying? But you need that. You need that. You need a little bit of both. You need people that's going to encourage you and lift you up, and, you know, and then you need people that's going to be like, that's going to do those same things and out of love tell you the truth and be critical. Just tell you straight up, that kick is too loud. That clap is too soft. Where is the bass line? I barely can hear it. It's too much happening in this beat right here. You need less stuff happening. How come we only ever listen to beats? When are you going to have somebody sing or rap over these tracks? I'm tired of just listening to these beats just raw beats. Where is the vocals at? Can we sing something? Can somebody rap something to this? How about you just add a spoken word, or just put podcast vocals on top of your beats? That sounds like a cool idea. Why not just do something like that? It's just like, man, you need somebody that's gonna be critical, uber critical, and just tell you something. I appreciate y'all. This has been fun. I have to tell you the truth. When I set out to start the stream, I mean, like, for one, I showed you my keyboard is not connected, right? My keyboard is not connected to my computer. So I would not be able to make beats the way that I wanted to make beats. So I wasn't really big on making beats this stream. I really did want to have just a moment like this where I could just talk and get some stuff off my chest. And I would say this was fun. It was fun battling Raging Oracles, talking about Joe Budden. It was fun just kind of talking about podcasts, talking about tech. It was fun, man. So like, I could see myself doing another one of these where we like maybe look at some topics or look at some ideas and, like, you know, talk with you guys, go back and forth. And yeah, man, I could see myself doing another one of these like this. But also, you know, we started this on some beat making stuff, and so we definitely want to keep the beats flowing, man. But with that being said, look, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for coming through to the stream. Man, shout outs to all of y'all. Shout outs one more time to Curtis King for inviting me to the producer showcase. That was really dope, man. I appreciate it, and hopefully we can do some stuff in the future. And shout outs to everybody on the live stream, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through and hanging out with your boy. And I will catch y'all on the next one, man. We finna be chilling for this weekend. I had an opportunity today to get on, but we finna be chilling for a minute, but hopefully I can come back. This was the first time I got a chance to put some content on the channel for the entire month of October. Now, you might be saying it's only October the 13th, but it's 13 days of not having anything that's not good. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we was able to get something in, and we'll definitely have some videos coming up next week. Probably some long drawn out videos where I'm going to be talking about Reason instruments and effects. And I'm just going to be talking about how to use those Reason instruments and effects, because that's why 5,000 people decided to follow the channel and subscribe. So I'm probably going to be doing something talking about that. Shout outs to that Reason A to Z tutorials, you know what I'm saying? That's how we built this channel. So I'll probably be doing that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys have a good time, man. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.